Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hi.
Welcome to the Port Charles 411. But should we maybe call today the Pine Valley 111?
411? You're not getting all the information, just some of it. The 111?
Well, kind of.
True, right?
It's a one-off, so the Pine Valley one-off.
There you go.
I don't know. So if you're here as a General Hospital fan, you are in the right place because we are going to be discussing the brief time that Anna Devane was in Pine Valley on All My Children, which I never watched the show. And
like, not at all.
Never.
That's so funny to me.
Never watched it. And
that's so funny. I
regretting it after having watched it. It's good.
My brain doesn't understand how you could only watch one soap when they just go in a row, which I know normal people don't have 3 hours a day to dedicate.
I was going to say I wasn't home, so it's not like
back
it was.
then you did.
I didn't.
Guess not. I don't know. I did. I spent way too many days
watching. You had babies. I was in college.
No, this was before babies that I was dedicated to all three of them.
I was lucky I got General Hospital in after school. And that was only if I got it on a VHS tape because I also worked after school. Yeah. There was definitely a lot, like summer I did better, but there was a lot that I missed even when I was in high school and everything because I also am the oldest of four. You're the baby, so.
That's true. I was lucky. I got to come home and do nothing and watch.
And we only had one TV. So
no, I would tape it.
Your parents loved you more than mine do.
I guess so, because I was allowed to tape it and come home and watch all of it. And during the summer, I just watched it all live. So
I did for the most part, as long as I wasn't working.
All right. Well, once again, it's best to be the baby of the family because you get to do whatever you want.
There you go. So I really, really enjoyed it. And it was really difficult because I know on the recap earlier in the week, I said, yeah, just go on YouTube. There's 277 videos.
Oh my God.
No, that was just for like 1 year.
Yeah. There was so
It
much.
was missing all of her getting together with somebody else and something else happening. That was just her basically arriving.
Right.
Was like 207 videos. So
you spent a lot more time on this than
I didn't. I skipped. Well, yes, I did spend more time.
I feel like you really did. You really got into this.
I skipped a lot, though.
I could just skim it more, even though the other characters didn't play into it.
Mm-hmm.
Having the baseline of just what All My Children is about, I could kind of follow how it was going to go better.
Right, because there were parts where someone would pop up and I go, but who the heck is that? So then I would go back to see what I, quote, missed.
Yeah.
But then there were times where I just had it, okay, for the most part, yes, I spent, quote, more time on it, but it was running in the background as I was doing.
Right.
Like I had a huge mailing that I did this week. So it was very helpful to just be sitting here putting stuff together, but I was focused on that, but listening. And before I knew it, something else was happening. I was like, oh, this has nothing to do with Anna or Alex. So I could really skip this. So I started to.
Did you enjoy meeting Tad the cat?
I did. He was fun.
I know.
He was fun.
He was more grown up during this time, too.
Oh, really?
He wasn't quite so Tad the cat then. Yeah, because he had already had.
But he's really good for the little quip one-liners, though. Mm-hmm. So that's just a Michael
E. Knight.
Yep, thank you. I was going to say Michael Easton. I'm like, no that's my boy.
That's your other boyfriend. You just have too many.
Michael E. Knight is not my boyfriend.
You can have an All My Children boyfriend. He wouldn't be your All My Children boyfriend, though. So,
nope.
Never mind. All right.
So we're going to get started. Again, we are reading from generalhospitalfandom.com. Yep, they have the storyline tab for All My Children, 2001 to 2003, when Miss Finola Hughes was on the show. So
you want to start? You want me to start?
I'll start because the second paragraph has people's names in it that I could mispronounce.
Okay.
That you might know how to pronounce because you actually watched the show.
All right, we'll give it a try.
Okay. So super spy Anna Devane was found alive after a decade of supposedly being dead in the outskirts of North America. Her twin sister, Alexandra Merrick, also played by Hughes, found her in a cabin in Canada near death. Alex and Anna's guardian, Bart, I'm sorry. That's all they ever called him. Like, he didn't have a name. It wasn't Mr. anything.
No.
And both of them are pretty proper. So I was always waiting for a Mr. blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
No, Bart.
It's just Bart.
Bart. Remind me of that Simpsons episode when Lisa's first word was Bart. And she just kept saying, Bart. You never watched The Simpsons?
Oh, I did watch The Simpsons, but obviously not as faithfully as you did, because I don't know that episode.
I just remember that because it was cute. Took her to Pine Valley and put her in the hospital under Alex's name so as not to arouse suspicion. Dimitri Merrick and Edmund Gray helped with the charade. Dimitri opened his home to his sister-in-law. Upon returning to the turret, which the turret is driving me crazy because they talk about it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the turret. It's like the parapet right at Windermere.
Yep.
So does every soap opera have
I guess so.
a special place?
I told you Wild Wind was just like Cassadine Island.
Exactly. So
or not
possibly.
Cassadine Island. Spoon Island.
Yes. Same thing.
Is it? I thought Cassadine Island.
Oh, yeah, that's in Greece. Okay.
Thank you. Go ahead.
But I mean, I think if you said on General Hospital, Cassadine Island, people would think Windermere.
Yes.
So. Upon returning to the turret, they discovered Bart dead. Oh. Anna could not remember where she had been the last decade, but did remember that she was a spy who had many enemies. So this whole thing I did watch because it was also interesting to see Alex come in, which we talked about Alex a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the write-up for Alex was pretty much almost shot for shot. Like, they did a really good job. Alex was nice.
She was.
They loved each other.
They did.
Alex and Anna loved each other. They had a really good relationship. What happened?
I have no idea.
Is it like they both came to Port Charles and now we have to have an evil twin?
I would guess so.
Can't just have a nice twin?
Of course not. You can't have two nice people.
Come on, guys.
It doesn't happen.
Has that ever happened? Has there ever been a nice set of twins
No.
on a soap opera?
No. I don't even know that as a fact, but I'm going to say no pretty much as a fact.
Okay.
There's no way.
If you do know of one, please let us know.
The Wild Wind crew decided to keep everything between them so as to protect as many people as possible. But more and more people became involved, including Dimitri's niece, Jillian Andrassi.
That's the name I was hoping you knew how to
I'm not 100%.
Okay.
I think that's how it was.
She was cute.
She was cute.
Super sweet.
She was cute. And her husband, Ryan Lavery, who was very good to look at.
And a very familiar last name.
So young. This would prove fatal for Jillian, who was killed by the assassin sent to kill Anna. Anna felt as if she put everyone in harm's way and wanted to get out of Pine Valley. But her brother, Gabriel, gave her reason to stay and rebuild her life.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, okay, so these 2 paragraphs took me like 3 days to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a long time. Brother Gabriel,
if you type in Gabriel and Anna, nothing comes up. It just goes back to Anna's not dead. But you can't even get that specific.
So,
that's how not important the world must have thought he was.
So Gabriel they thought he was mute, and he was, I guess, someone named Charlotte had sent him to find Anna and just said, Anna will know what to do.
See, and I didn't deep dive into the beginning that much. Go ahead.
Well, so I can't remember how he came up, but then there was like this little girl with brown hair. It was Edmund's daughter who found him, and he was a magic man. And I forget why he was a magic man, but she's like, don't you talk? Do you have a tongue? Like all this. I mean, she was really cute. But then he set the stable on fire. I don't remember if he did that unintentionally. I believe he killed a dog at one point. Right.
Wow.
Then they got him talking, and it came out that he was wearing a ring that he said his mother had given him, and it was Alex and Anna's dad's wedding ring.
Oh.
Right. So Gabriel was their paternal brother, half brother, and I like that from the time that they found that's my half brother. It was no, that's my brother.
Oh.
So, but it was really, really weird because I'm like, so where's this Gabriel dude? Like, why is he not?
Right, because I had read this over before we started recording, and it said Gabriel. I thought he was going to be like all the other characters. Anna talks a lot during her time in Pine Valley about
Anna
family.
has a lot more family. On All My Children.
Yes. And she's all about family. We need to build our family. We need to make it strong, blah, blah, blah. So I thought Gabriel was going to be in a lot of different scenes, and I totally missed him.
Well, and the other thing that I forgot to mention is that she started to have like flashbacks.
Yeah.
And she was remembering Robert and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what I didn't know. See, This is why I did not watch All My Children, because I knew 20 years later we were going to be doing a podcast and this would come in handy.
Good
having
foresight.
my point of view as just a strict General Hospital fan. I didn't realize, even when someone said, did you know that Anna Devane was on All My Children? I didn't know.
Right.
She still had Robin and Robert.
Mm-hmm.
So they did pull over a lot. So it's not like she had a complete.
In my mind, her not knowing that she was Anna from GH lasted a lot longer than it seemed to have lasted in the YouTube clips. And I don't know.
That was probably months.
Right. I don't know if it was the real storyline dragged out like the Wiley storyline, and so it really did take that long.
Right.
Or if, I was just younger then, so in my mind it felt like longer, reminiscing back to it. But I knew that, obviously she was on All My Children, and I dabbled in it here and there, but it still didn't feel like they had really made that strong connection as much as this makes it seem.
Like watching it like this, it's like...
It was like instant. It felt like she was there for a day or two and was like, oh yeah, I remember somewhat.
Right. Like she knew that she was married. She knew about her daughter, and she knew she had a daughter.
It still felt weird to me that Alex hadn't ever met Robin.
Yeah.
Until...
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I just feel like, I know Anna was in and out of Robin's life, but she was around enough. You don't think she'd have mentioned, hey, by the way,
considering Robin didn't meet her dad until she was 7, I think it's fair enough to say that she would not have met her aunt.
You can wait till 23, whatever Robin was, to meet her.
Sure. Yep.
Okay, if you say so. Gabriel, Alex, and Dimitri returned to Hungary to comfort Jillian's family. Edmund told Anna she could either go with them or stay with her new family here. She stayed and began a new arc in her life. She even helped Ryan, who she learned to be her cousin by marriage, to do slavery. That was a weird sentence. In finding his reason to live. I love Edmund. And I know Edmund was in love with Alex instead, but I love Edmund.
I did not go down that rabbit hole, but it was very nice. He was a very nice guy. I did like him. He's
so sweet. But he belongs with his children's mother.
Yeah. That was messed up.
Yeah. We're not going to go all in there, but as I was watching...
When that happens later on, we can touch on it.
Yes, as I was watching characters interact differently from when they were when I was really faithful to it, I was like, no, you're supposed to be over here.
See, and when I told you could start skipping was when Jillian was marrying Ryan. And I was like, no, we can start skipping through this stuff because they get married. It's a wedding. But then, yeah. So then, speaking of Robin made her way to Pine Valley because Edmund had... See, they don't talk about this in here.
They don't, right.
Edmund had gone to see Robin because Anna really wanted to go see her and to know that she was okay, but obviously too worried, blah, 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 blah. Because as far as she knew, she was still being hunted.
Right.
And people were trying to kill her. And so Edmund went to Robin and said that he was writing an article about her in their magazine.
I don't know, actually.
It's a magazine or a newspaper. It begins with a T. What's the name of it? Templeton? What the heck is the name of the... People are yelling at me that know.
I should know this and I don't. I'm
All
sorry.
My Children publication. No.
All My Children Pine Valley News?
No, it begins with a T.
But would it come up if you typed that?
Oh, I guess we could just look up Edmund. Edmund Gray. All right, I'm sorry, All My Children people. Your wiki is not good. All right, I failed. I forget the name. But anyway, Tempo.
There you go. Good job. She's so proud. The smile is so proud. Good job.
Thank you, SoapCentral.com. Edmund was half owner of Tempo magazine and the editor of Tempo magazine, and he's a Pulitzer Prize winning reporter and author and a volunteer for Habitat for Humanity. Although it says Habitant for Humanity. So I'm thinking maybe... I don't know why they wouldn't have the rights to be able to promote Habitat for Humanity, which is an excellent organization. Go volunteer. And so Edmund went to see Robin and said that he was writing an article on Anna's life because, super spy, hello.
Right.
And wanted some information about her. And so Robin gave him a box of all these pictures. And so he brought them back to her. And Robin arrived in Pine Valley, but arrived at Wildwind. Is that where she was?
Okay. Good job.
And Anna's in the other room. And the maid
pretending
opens the door.
To be Alex.
Yes. And opens the door and hears Robin talking. And then it's like a floodgate just opened. And so they showed the General Hospital clip of Robin running into Anna's arms. And it was great. It was great. And so Anna called out to her after Robin went to leave. And Robin's like, yeah, I had a really weird feeling after I met this guy. And so I just wanted to come talk to him and find out a little bit more as to why he was writing this article. And sure enough, there's Anna.
I liked when Anna called out to her at first that she didn't turn around right away. It was like, I'm hearing things. I know I'm imagining this. I'm not even entertaining it.
Yep.
And then Anna was like, no, seriously, don't go. I'm right here.
And at the time, this is when Robin had gone to Paris on General Hospital, so she wasn't really in Port Charles that much. Like, we would hear from her every now and again, but not really see her. But then Alex walked in the room also, and she's like, wait, what? There's two moms. What's going on here? So,
and Alex was nice to her and said, I've heard so much about you.
I know.
And I feel like I know you. And she's like, yeah, I don't feel like I know you.
Well, because when
I didn't know you existed.
Robin tells Anna, so this is really important. I don't know why they don't talk about all this. Robin tells Anna that she's HIV positive, talks about Stone, and talks about the fact that she's in med school. And that's when Anna says, like, she starts to allude to something.
Right.
But she stops herself because she wasn't going to tell her about Alex. And then Alex comes in and is like, I'm a doctor. And it's like, oh, yeah.
You're just like her.
Yep. It's the same tree, just a different branch that you fell from.
And it was nice to see Robin again, because at that point in real life, you hadn't seen Robin, like you said. So for her to come back was very exciting.
Yep. But then Anna cut their time short because she still believed that her life was in danger, and she obviously didn't want to put Robin in danger too. So she sent her daughter back to Paris to protect her from suffering the same fate as Jillian.
Except that they didn't talk about there was someone that showed up at Wild Wind pretending to be...
Right.
What was she?
A security guard or something like that. First of all, love the fact that they used a female assassin.
Yes. But she left and they tracked her phone and saw that there was a phone call overseas. And that is why
Edmund came and said that the security,
have to go. And Anna was like, yeah, they're tracking us. But it had nothing to do with Robin.
Right.
It had to do with whatever.
Right. So then federal agent Chris Stamp enlisted her help in solving the Proteus case. She fell in love with the prime suspect, David Hayward, and helped exonerate him. His drugs were created in hopes of saving his beloved Dixie Martin from her heart problem. Oh, was Dixie related to Dimitri? Wasn't his last name? No, his last name was Merrick. Never mind. His last name was Martin. No one?
Tad Martin.
Oh, okay. So,
sorry. I was waiting for her to get it there for a minute.
So is that like his sister?
No, they were in love.
Okay.
God.
Stay tuned for when this changes to an All My Children recap.
What is wrong with you?
I didn't watch the show.
I'm sorry. That like blows my mind. What? No.
I was really into Buffy at the time too. That would be a fun show to do a recap. Okay. Not wanting to testify against him on other drug charges, they eloped in her fourth marriage, invoking the marital confidentiality clause.
Did you watch that wedding?
I didn't watch the wedding. No, this is when I started to really skip because I realized I was never going to get done.
It was kind of funny. They went to get married. I'm assuming like just a justice of the peace or somebody. It was in somebody's house, so I don't know, whatever. And so they go to get married, and the husband is going to marry them, but the wife's there, and I think she's a little senile. And so she's like, wait. No, you can't just use traditional vows because that's bad luck. You have to say your vows. And so they're standing there hardly knowing each other, only getting married because of all this drug stuff, trying to, I promise I'll protect you. And the wife's like, don't you have more? Come on. Like wanting these
Spill your guts.
romantic vows between the two of them. But in the end, it was cute. Anna said something about, she likes excitement. And so this was great because she never expected to be here. And so thanks for keeping life exciting. And he kind of said pretty much the same thing. And then he kissed her and it was like, is it a kiss or a kiss? So, and then it went from there.
I did watch where she said, you can't make me testify against him because I'll invoke spousal privilege. Because I guess they weren't telling anybody because he got mad at her.
Okay.
That she said that.
Oh, so I didn't know they weren't telling anyone. To me,
I don't know. That was the impression that I was under, is that they were kind of trying to keep it hush hush, just in case.
Okay.
So real quick, I forgot two notes I had. So Alex had bought a horse and named it Scorpio.
Okay, that I didn't know.
Yep. And in the cabin, so like this is way back at the beginning, Anna had said that she felt like she was supposed to have another life somewhere, but it was just a dream. And she was having flashbacks of Robin, Robert, and Faison.
Yes.
I forgot about Faison.
Yes, I saw that too.
So
I watched that part too.
Boom. And at one point, David was temporarily recast. And how they announced it was, in the absence of blah, 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 the role of David Hayward will be played by blah, blah, blah. I know their names, but I just didn't write them down.
Right.
So I like that. It was just in the absence of.
In the absence
Very
of.
classy. So yeah, now they got married.
Yes, they're married. And it was cute. I liked that they didn't try to make it something that it wasn't, but that there was a little bit of this crazy.
And they had already been like hardcore flirting and everything before this. So it's not like.
Right. It wasn't.
It was just two strangers. Yeah. It wasn't Jason and Brenda getting married.
Right.
Right. They were actually interested in each other.
Mm-hmm. Just they have our seal of approval.
Yep.
Vanessa Cortland, David's mother, was discovered to be
Proteus.
Someone wanted to get Vanessa's drug money by threatening to kill Leo Dupree. Why do they use the same? Okay.
What?
Oh, it's Dubois. I was thinking Felix.
Okay.
And I'm like, why are we using the same name?
Jeez, Amanda.
I know. See? Mixing up my notes. David's brother drugged her. Anna was able to stop him moments before shooting Leo, even under the influence of a drug. Anna was offered the job of police chief against DA Jackson Montgomery's wish. Jackson Montgomery.
Yep, I know. I know who that is. Not saying he's my boyfriend, but I just really enjoyed. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Shannon may be doing a deep dive on Jackson, even though we don't need that.
It's not even him. It's another storyline that I really enjoyed how they did.
He's just a sweet guy, I'm telling you. If you watched it, you would have been in love with him. Okay. Against D.A. Jackson Montgomery's wish, who could not believe an officer would shoot while under the influence of a drug. Eventually, the two grew close, maybe too close even for David. Her family grew when her nephew, Anna Devane, made it to Pine Valley. Between David and Aiden's troublemaking, she was one busy police chief.
So, quick side note, Proteus on All My Children. So it's named after a Greek god.
Okay.
And they didn't know who it was. And in 2002, one such villain wreaking havoc in Pine Valley was a dastardly drug lord, Proteus. The mysterious Proteus caused many problems for the residents of Pine Valley. He/she coerced Mateo into working for, I'm just going to say them, because, okay, so wait, was Mateo, is that Mark?
My God. Yes. Good playlist.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. And Leo Dupree is Josh Duhamel.
Mm-hmm.
And Sam Page plays like his attorney or something like that. There's a lot of people. Okay.
Yes. Oh,
okay.
Mateo. Oh my God, you're bringing back such All My Children memories here.
Into working for, I'm just going to say them. We're just going to all-inclusive it, them. Among other things, the villain also drugged Greenlee, Jake, and Maggie, leaving them all for dead.
You knew Greenlee, too.
I know who she is now, as Hayden.
Right.
And she was so cute. She was little.
She was little.
The marriage was cut short with the revelation that David had drugged and hid Anna's sister-in-law. Oh, my gosh. The marriage was cut short with the revelation that David had drugged and hid Anna's sister-in-law, Maria Gray, from her family for over half a decade. So that's Edmund's wife, who he had thought had died. And here's the thing, though. So I watched this, and obviously I did not watch all the episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I was under the impression when David picked up a picture of Edmund on the day of his wedding Edmund was marrying, what's her name? The other chick. So he was marrying her. Mm-hmm. He picked up this picture of Maria and was like, who's this? And he's like, that's Maria, my wife, like my deceased wife. It felt like that David was surprised that that's who it was. So I don't know if I'm missing something that he really didn't know that her name was Maria Gray, and he just thought that she was someone. I don't know. I was confused by that.
Yeah,
I was reading too much into it. I don't know. Anna could not be with the man who tore apart another family like what happened to her. At the same time, she discovered that she was pregnant. David did and they had been trying to get pregnant. At the same time, David did everything he could to work his way back into Anna's life, including admitting to some crimes and giving up his job at the hospital for one at the free clinic. Anna's life was almost taken at the clinic when a frightened juvenile delinquent, Reggie Porter, held her at scalpel point.
It was scissors.
It was, because I just watched that this morning. David professed his love for Anna at that point, and the two reconciled. The baby had a heart problem, so Anna had to go to a specialist in Switzerland for help. David could not leave because of his probation, but arranged for Robin to take care of Anna when she was abroad. That's literally the last thing that I watched.
Okay.
The surgeon suffered a stroke moments before repairing surgery was to be... What? The surgeon suffered a stroke moments before repairing surgery was to be done in Anna's uterus, and David was allowed to fly out and conduct the
Okay,
Wait,
that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Okay,
So that's wrong.
okay, correct me, please.
So
Don't correct me.
Not
correct Wiki.
you, correct them. So she went to Switzerland.
Yeah, but she came back.
Okay. Yes, so she went to Switzerland, and when she was
that's the last thing that I watched. Is she came back.
Okay, so she went to Switzerland. When she was in Switzerland, the doctor told her that yes, they need the surgery, but she didn't feel comfortable having the surgery without David being there.
Right, yes.
And if she went past the 8-month mark, she wouldn't be able to fly back and forth because that's too much.
Okay.
So it just happened to be that the doctor was coming to the States for a medical conference. So he agreed to do the surgery in Pine Valley.
Okay.
So he got here.
And so that's why David couldn't reach him on the phone either.
Okay. Right. So then they went in to do the surgery at the hospital in Pine Valley, and that's when he had the stroke. And so then David had to step in for him. And it wasn't just like...
So he didn't fly out.
He didn't fly anywhere.
He was in Pine Valley. But didn't he had a restraining order against him in the hospital, though. How did that happen?
And they mentioned that and told him as long as he was on his best behavior, they would not call the cops. So he could be there for his child's birth, blah, blah, blah. And then...
Is that the type of doctor he was, though?
He was a heart doctor, but not a neonatal doctor.
Okay.
So there was no one within a 500-mile radius that could come in and do the surgery. So I'm
sorry. Pittsburgh is right here, and we have a lot of doctors, and we have. In 2001, we had a lot of doctors. So, sorry.
So he had
to... BS.
Right. He had to perform the surgery on Anna and his baby, which is so beyond... And he was on a headset with the doctor in Seattle telling him how to do it. And they were like feeding it, doing a news feed to that doctor so he could see it. So David was being the hands while this doctor was telling him what to do.
Okay.
Okay. Does that make more sense?
It does, but I'm very disappointed by this.
Yeah.
They saved Anna and the baby. Leora Hayward was soon born and took the namesake of the late Leo Dupree. Oh, good. Because I knew her name and I didn't know I was thinking that's why.
Because they had assumed, I don't know why I hadn't done an ultrasound, they had assumed that the baby was a boy, and so they were naming him Leo after
Leo. Yeah, because we forgot to mention that Leo died earlier.
Oh, sorry.
No, did we?
It wasn't in here. Did it? No, I don't think it did say it.
Oh, yeah. Vanessa's drug money by threatening to kill Leo. But, yeah,
he died.
Think
it actually said, that he died.
Sorry.
You're good. Okay. I'm seeing where you stop and I start because I'm reading it off my phone. Leora needed another surgery, but David did not want it. Okay, so they're making this sound like, whoop, and it happened overnight. No. She had the baby. The surgery that he did seemed successful. Okay. She had the baby, and whenever they did the first set of tests that they do after you have a baby, it turned out that it had not fully repaired her heart, and she needed a pacemaker. And they
make baby pacemakers?
I guess
oh my gosh. I mean, I can understand why,
sense,
but seriously?
Yes. I also had not ever thought of it.
These are so teeny tiny.
Yes. So she needed a pacemaker. David did not want her to have the surgery because she was so little. Anna wanted her to have the surgery because her heart was not working the way it's supposed to. And so it went on for a while. Like the baby, she wasn't like a year old or anything yet, but it wasn't the next day. Like
she wasn't in the ICU and then the next day.
Exactly. She left the hospital. She went home. They took her out and about and tried to live a normal life. And that was whenever you saw David being really crazy about her. Like someone walked into the restaurant they were eating at and sneezed. And he was like, why don't you cover your mouth? You're going to infect the whole restaurant. And Anna was like, calm down. It's okay. And he basically called her an unfit mother because she wanted to take the baby out and about. And didn't she realize how compromised the baby was? And so there was a lot of tension in their relationship building up already, because at one point he said to her, I'm not overprotective. I let you take care of her the other day. And she was like, did you hear yourself?
My eyes just got huge.
Yeah, you let me take care of my baby? Like, what are you talking about?
I have friends that are married and she's a pediatric doctor and he's a nurse. When they first started having kids, they had no idea how they were going to react because they're like, we know how we want to, but you don't know how you're going to. And they're like, we were either going to be over the top neurotic or seriously, eating all that dirt's not going to kill you. They're more on the eating dirt side.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, he would not last right now during COVID.
Oh, no.
But I mean, that happens when you're a brand new parent, you freak out over stuff. However.
Right. And he felt 100% responsible for her life because he had saved it but not done a good enough job in his mind because she still.
And if something went wrong, then it would absolutely be his fault. Yes. And okay.
So,
although it's funny to see the dad be neurotic like that because stereotypically it's postpartum,
right?
You know,
right? So. No, and Anna was. I mean, she wasn't being a bad mother, but she was. We have to live our life. We have to take her out. We have to do these things. This is the decision we made.
It's just really interesting to see the guy.
Yes. Yeah. No, he was like crazy. Like I'd have punched him if he was my baby daddy. It was ridiculous, the stuff that he was doing and saying. Anna signed off the papers without him, and Dr. Joe Martin continued with the surgery.
Is Joe Martin related to Tad also?
Yes, that's his dad.
Okay.
So
Tad's dad.
Tad's dad. Yes. So again, it wasn't like right away. And Anna tried to have a conversation with him and said, let's see what happens. Oh, they went out to dinner. They finally went out to dinner, just the two of them.
Okay.
And the babysitter called and said the baby had a really high fever. So they took her to the ER, and the doctor said it has nothing to do with her heart issues, but yes, because her heart's not working as well, her immune system isn't as good as it should be, so she's at a risk of catching everything, blah, blah, blah. And so Anna asked Joe, is your opinion still to wait for the pacemaker? And he said no, he would do it now. And David did not want to do it yet. So that's why she signed off on it on her own. It wasn't like, they make it sound like she just did whatever she wanted. She really didn't. She tried to talk to him. He wasn't hearing it. He didn't want another surgery. The baby was going to end up dying eventually because her heart was not going to get better. So that was that. Leora did not make it through, and David blamed the Martins, who he thought were trying to claim revenge for his past acts against them for Leora's death. Obviously, that's not what was happening. He broke into the surgery room and was screaming and yelling, and they were like, get out of here, we're trying to do stuff, blah, blah, blah. And so whenever the baby died,
you would really think that even if they were going to do revenge, it wouldn't be with a baby.
Exactly. Right. And Joe wasn't like that. He was like the Dr.
The
Hardy.
old guy with the white hair.
He was like the Dr.
Was he the one that did the ultrasounds and everything?
Yes.
Okay. He was grandpa.
He's the Dr. Hardy of All My Children.
Okay.
So he wouldn't have taken
I'm not trying to be mean to Anna, though, but if your doctor husband who specializes in the heart says this shouldn't happen.
I think he was too close to it.
Okay.
He was just too close to it.
Okay.
So, this goes past all of that. So, yeah, she asked, this missed a lot of the emotion behind it because this was really hard for me to watch. So
I didn't get to it, and I was kind of
yeah, it was. There was parts I was watching it, but I had to make sure I was doing something else because if I got too into it, she went after the baby died. She was not ready to go see the baby. And he was like, I want to go see her because you can't leave her in there. She's on that cold slab all by herself. Oh. So they went in together and he said goodbye to her, but was blaming the Martins and saying he was going to get revenge. And she was like, stop it. That's not what this moment's about. No one did anything to her, but even if they had, this is our moment to say goodbye, blah, blah, blah. And so he said goodbye to the baby and left. And she was like, no, don't leave me. I need you. I'm not ready to say goodbye. And he left anyway. And so then it shows her in the room for what seemed like must have been hours, singing to the baby and talking to her and telling her about all the stuff she was going to miss. It was heartbreaking. It was really, really hard to watch. And so
that sounds like such a nice moment, though.
It was super nice, but it was
hard.
Yeah, it was super, super. But I don't know. Sometimes they play things too much, and I felt like that was one of the things. For me personally, I was like, okay, this is too much because I just couldn't stand to watch it.
Mm-hmm. Not that you couldn't.
It just hit too close to home.
Right. I was going to say, I'm the way that you said that.
No, I was going to say, I think I've said this before, but before Madeline.
Just to clarify for anybody.
Exactly. Yeah. Before Madeline, I had 3 miscarriages. One of them was at 19 weeks. It was a pretty awful experience to go through. So Absolutely. As much as I like when soaps play things real to life, some things just are okay, I don't need to see that. I've already lived through not the exact same situation, but enough of it. I don't need to see it playing out. But anyway, Anna really was trying to get David to be there for her, and he just couldn't. And so then she asked Joe, was it her fault for whatever? And he said, it's medical science. You don't know. Right. We could have done it that day, and it would have been too soon. We could have waited a month, and she'd been in worse condition. You just, you have no idea.
Or it could have worked.
Exactly. Exactly. He said the only thing that we know for sure is that it didn't work now, and unfortunately, this is the outcome. So Yeah, it wasn't a split. They kind of make it seem like it was a split decision kind of thing, and it wasn't. Anna turned to Jackson again for comfort. On the day of the funeral, Anna told David he had to let go. Weeks later, he plotted to wipe the memories of the Martin family at the July 4th celebration, but Anna was able to stop him. So he came up with some kind of drug. You got that? Okay, go ahead.
Well, that was the drug that they were talking about up further in the thing, because that's what, I guess, Dixie's mom had died from something. And so he was
heart problem, I thought it was, though.
I did not go down that rabbit hole, but he was trying to get this drug to, and Dixie didn't even have a problem.
Right. It was just,
so it was like more preventative.
Yes.
Like in the case that this should happen. So, okay, I don't know if this is the same drug that they are talking about here. However, Anna walked in on him after he had taken this drug, and he was like delirious and everything. She had to basically like get him back. They really did miss a lot. I'm really glad that I watched YouTube, and I'm sorry for everything I've probably missed and messed up for all my children fans that are like hating me right now. But then he starts talking about these memories, and I said, David did all this work with memories. What if he had come to General Hospital and helped with all this brain mapping stuff? Oh. And could he have been the doctor that Andre was working with?
That would have been so good.
Right. Why didn't they do it?
Because they couldn't use the names. Just like One Life to Live.
We're not even going to get into that. But that doesn't mean anything, because I think the issue with One Life to Live is they wanted to resurrect One Life to Live. All My Children has not come back.
True.
I think that's the issue.
I think we did discuss that before. Yep.
So it could have been, because think about it, Nora Buchanan still comes.
Yes. I love Nora.
Yeah, she still gets to come. She's still been able to come, I guess, because she's not a regular. She's not a recurring.
Right.
She's a guest.
Yes.
Whatever.
That makes sense.
But yeah. So he did all this work with memories and stuff.
I watched what you're talking about when she had to save him. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that was the same drug.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, because I did skip around a lot, but I think that it was.
Okay.
It also could have not been, but still he was playing with some kind of memory drug.
Yeah, so. I didn't realize, because the Dixie stuff, I'm almost positive was a heart issue. So what
Which makes sense considering that he's a cardiologist.
Right. What would a heart medicine have to do with memory?
He started talking about the memories when Maria came back. So maybe it was Maria he was working with, because Maria, the reason that he kept her away was because she didn't know her family. And he's like, I wasn't going to. So maybe he did know that was her. I don't understand this thing with the picture then. Okay. Ignore everything I said like 10 minutes ago.
No, maybe because if she didn't know her family, then how would he know that's where she belonged?
True.
So maybe he really didn't. Maybe that led to them.
But I feel like his justification was like, I wasn't going to bring her back and hurt, because Anna's whole thing was, you kept this mother from her kids. And he's like, but she didn't know that they were her kids, and they're young. I mean, they were like 5, 6, 7 years old. So they weren't going to know or understand, why doesn't mommy know who we are?
Right. Didn't it say he kept her for like a decade?
I think it was like 5, 6 years, something like that.
Okay. Because it can't be a decade with how old her kids are.
Well, who knows? It just soaked time.
No, the age kid's wrong.
Okay. But so he did do some work with memory stuff.
Okay. So, yeah. And now he has the drug. He was going to drug them so that they couldn't remember each other. But he was also saying that he wanted to take it because he wanted to forget the baby. And Anna was not happy about that. And
wouldn't that be great if we could just take a drug that would remove certain memories from our lives?
Bad memories, but not a person.
But it was hurt, though. He wanted to remove the hurt.
He actually said to Anna that he wished that they had never had the baby. And she...
Okay, I take back what I had.
She was
cut you
very
off
upset
saying.
by that. No, you're good. So in the cabin, they fought and cried together and realized they could not mourn the life of their daughter without each other. When they fall to the floor holding each other, a little girl is seen at the doorway, unseen by them. She smiles to herself and walks out the cabin, shutting the door behind her.
Oh.
Yes. So that was the end of them, even though they weren't really accepting that was the end of them quite yet. That was the end. They grieved the loss, and he was going to stop being crazy now, I guess, was supposed to happen.
I can't even imagine. So Anna was tired of covering for David, and that's something that they don't talk about further up either they really had it out after the Maria thing. Anna wanted to divorce him. She was... Right. She went to some place so that she could get a divorce. They didn't actually divorce, though, did they?
I think they did because there was YouTube videos further that I didn't watch that says that she asked him to marry her.
Okay.
So I don't know if they meant like a real wedding since the first one was for convenience, or not convenience, but for the law stuff, or if they did get divorced and then need to get remarried. That I'm not positive about.
Because I think one of the things that people talk about with the transition is that she's still technically married to David. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's one of those things that people say, but we're going to Google real quick just to see. Okay, it says after the loss of their daughter Leora in 2003, they pulled apart rather than coming together, leading to their divorce the same year. So I guess but that was one article, and this one says she was tired of covering for David. She discovered he and Erica Kane could have been responsible for the death of Michael Cambius. Who's that? We don't know. We didn't talk about him once during this whole thing. She went to the cabin and left evidence she had found and a note for David. David came before she could leave. She told him she was going to Paris to be with Robin, and she did not want him to follow her. She walked out the door and out of Pine Valley.
Okay, so she was the police chief?
Yes.
And, I can't remember who it was. Somebody called her out on the fact that she wasn't doing her job as well as she should be because she was covering for her love, David. And they handed her I think it was an address book. It might have been a journal, but I think it was an address book. And it had the initials EK on it for Erica Kane. And so they were giving it to her as evidence. So it said she left a note and evidence. That was the evidence that she was giving to him, or that she was leaving for him. And then he walked in and was like, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I resigned from my job, and I don't know if this incriminates you or not, but as my goodbye, I'm giving this to you to do what you see fit with it.
Okay.
And I'm leaving." And he was like, "You can't leave." And she was like, "I can. We're done. There's nothing else. There's nowhere else for us to go. This is over. We keep trying to fix it and it's not working." So, and he asked her where she was going and she said Paris, and she literally walked out the door and it was done.
Okay. So we don't know if they ever actually...
Look at the YouTube. Hold on one second. Because I'm telling you, there was YouTube.
While you're looking that up, the story that I like Jackson for is he is the adoptive father of a teenage autistic girl, and he brought Anna to her school to meet her, and just the way that he spoke about her, especially considering this was back in 2001, 2, 3, whichever year it was. The way that he spoke about her was absolutely beautiful, and the girl was not stereotypical. And it was very nice. She was obviously in a school for her needs, but it wasn't what you stereotypically would have seen possibly at that time, with it being like institutionalized, or it was a school a lot like my daughter's where they help the kids thrive. And there was a harvest dance going on, and she was worried that she wasn't going to have a date. And so he asked her to go with him. And Anna was actually standing outside the room because her phone had gone off and the girl had sensitivity to sounds. And so Anna left the room. And then when she came back in, and I guess the girl had left, Lily, that's her name, Lily, Jackson had said, he's like, a year ago, she wouldn't have even given me a hug.
Stop.
He's like, no, it's okay. He's like, a year ago, she wouldn't have even given me a hug, because Anna's apologizing for the phone and everything. She's like, I didn't know. And he's like, not that big of a deal, and he's like, I've learned so much through her autism. And I was just like, because they hadn't said it yet. And I'm sitting there like, is she? Is she? Is she? And then, yeah. So it made me so happy because, again, also not his biological daughter.
Right.
And I guess both of her parents died. Mm-hmm. And so that's amazing.
It's so funny. And I totally get where you're coming from because I feel the same way whenever I see stuff that...
And that was before my daughter was born.
My kids.
Oh my God.
But they made it so normal that I remember watching like his interaction with her before I don't know that I saw that particular scene, but obviously he had interacted with her before that scene, and it was just normal. Like,
right.
It never occurred to me. They never played it up. Like, he's such a great dad because he's dealing with this poor kid that has difficulties, blah, blah, blah. And I don't mean to be offensive in any of my words, but back then it was
as someone who definitely would have put Amanda in her place, I wouldn't have put you in your place. I would definitely correct. I understand what she is saying, so please do not take offense to.
Exactly. There are people who look at parents of special needs kids and think, oh, poor you have to deal with that kind of thing. It was never...
I had someone once tell me they wouldn't trade places with me for anything. I'm like, why? God. She's freaking awesome.
Oh my God.
I was like, she's amazing.
First of all, I don't know how
Right.
you say that about anyone and their child, but knowing your daughter, they're extra.
Yep, that's
insane.
okay.
But yeah, the storyline never went like, you're such a good dad or such a good guy because you take on this kid or whatever. It was just,
that's what he did.
Like, it never, like, hearing you say it now, I'm like, oh, wow. But it was so
like
normal.
Second nature that he was just like, of course I love her.
How it should be. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
So that's, I don't know.
And at one point, he professed his feelings for Anna, too. So that wasn't mentioned either because he's like, what do you mean you didn't? He's like, you weren't feeling this also? And she's like, but I'm with David. And so.
And he's like, yeah, but you shouldn't be.
Yep.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Okay. I don't know if you want to stop this or not, but here is Anna and David 2003.
Hi. Could I please have a vodka martini up with a twist, please? Actually, make it a double.
Yes, Miss White. Why not make it a quadruple?
Right, wait,
So you can abduct me again?
Hey, that's what's his name? Is that Michael B. Jordan?
I want this boy arrested.
For what, self-defense?
He forced me to give him money.
I didn't force you to do anything.
He lured me into the woods and stole my car.
She's drinking double martini. She's confusing me for the pink elephant that ripped her off.
I am neither confused nor inebriated. Can I depend on you to do your duty?
Well, if she's doing her job, right now you wouldn't be here. Did anyone witness this crime? No, because it's all in her.
Yes, it is. Michael B. Jordan was on it, too. Wow, okay. Continue, I'm sorry.
It's okay, I'm just trying to get to the point.
You didn't find her? No. Went to her apartment with diffusion. Even stopped by the bridge. And heard she wasn't there. Found another clue as to where Greenlee ended up.
Sure, Greenlee needs some time around to think things through.
She could have come to me.
She's confused. She doesn't want to add to your load. How come Mary has kept that from her?
I mean, some mothers have been known to do some pretty horrific things to their children.
Is this after they lost the baby?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I've been cutting off everybody in my life ever since Leora left us.
You both have.
I mean, even when I'm able to break away from the pain long enough, all I see is more pain. And Bianca, over the edge about something that's obviously hurt her so deeply that she can't even acknowledge it. And now we have Greenlee, barely surviving her loss with Leo. And now she has to face the fact that her whole childhood was one big lie. And when does it end?
It's like asks Mary.
The pain? I don't know if it doesn't. I think you have to move around it. If you want to get any relief or happiness. What are you thinking?
That the only way I can get around this pain is with you. You're my only hope for happiness, Anna. You always have been. Will you marry me?
See? So that's why I think the only wedding I see, though, is the one that was the one to get him out of the drug stuff, or so she didn't have to testify. So
maybe they did get divorced.
So I don't know why people think that they're still married, though.
I thought that I had read that.
But I had seen that, too. I think we had talked about that at some point. So, yeah, they got divorced, and they never got remarried. You're going to have to cut out chunks.
Yeah,
That's not
that's okay.
loud enough. I'm sorry.
When he got remarried, looking at just his thing, he got remarried a couple times, too. So either way.
A couple times. Of course he did. But I just knew I had seen that clip as we were watching Forward. And so I was like, why would they be asking to get married again if they had not gotten divorced? So, yeah.
I don't know. Because, I mean, people also try to renew their vows and everything. But that conversation was not,
right,
let's renew our vows and everything.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think it would be fun if they did bring him to. I feel like I need to watch more, but I have to finish Anna Devane on General Hospital.
It would be good if they brought him, except for then she would have to acknowledge this life. Because as much as they brought General Hospital to Pine Valley, they have not brought Pine Valley to... A single thing. She talks about losing the baby with Duke. She never talks about having a baby.
No.
That actually, again, not being insensitive. There's a difference between miscarrying and actually having a child that passes away. Not saying the level
her daughter died.
And
her
grief.
Born, living daughter passed away.
Exactly. Not saying the pain.
She didn't lose a baby. Her daughter died.
Exactly.
And she had a miscarriage.
Right. They're two.
It's a loss.
Exactly.
A child is lost both ways, but
but they are two
different
separate
times.
ways.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. So, and again, normal conversation. If you were going to talk about a miscarriage, you would then talk about the baby that you lost. Yeah, she just totally omits that one whole part. And the husband that you had. I mean, you don't hear her talk about all her marriages.
Never.
It's not even about just the baby. It's the
No,
whole
it's always
life
been
there.
Robert and Duke. Robert and Duke. That's
Right.
it.
And she tells David, I don't know if you watched that, but she tells David that he is the love of her life. He is in her soul. She has never loved anyone the way that she loves him. It made me mad as I was watching it because I was like,
Duke.
that's not true.
I feel like Robert's her soulmate, but Duke is her soulmate.
Yeah.
Like Duke is, but I really liked them together. I
Mhm.
really liked Anna and David. I thought they had a really good chemistry. I love their love-hate.
Yeah.
But I thought that they had a really good chemistry. I enjoyed this. I'm
Yes.
glad that we're finally doing this because we've been talking about doing this for quite some time. I think that we're going to wind up foregoing a fan of the month this month.
Probably because
just
there's
get this done?
too much. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then there was some girl, I think it was Maggie, was explaining to Anna about bedazzling.
Oh, that's cute.
And she's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, it's a craft. It's a hobby. You just get these beads and you get this little gun and you just like
Click it down.
click and it makes everything pretty.
There you
so
go.
that was fun.
That is cute.
Yeah, so we hope that you enjoyed this.
Roundabout discussion.
Right.
We were kind of all
So if
over.
you're also a General Hospital fan that never knew anything, that doesn't know anything about the fact that Anna was on,
and you have 50 hours to sit and watch YouTube.
this cuts down and we're going to only make it 45 minutes for you.
There you go.
And we missed a lot because there's also a lot that we did not watch or was mentioned in the,
I feel like we hit the high points. I mean,
hopefully.
again, we can't reenact it for anyone. So
No.
you have to just hit the high points, and I feel like
But
we
it was
did.
good. So if you're looking for something to watch on YouTube, definitely recommend checking out Anna Devane on All My Children.
It was so good. It makes me miss all of the soaps. They need to bring them all back.
Oh my God, I love your socks. They're sparkly panda.
Thanks, they're mismatched. They came from the same set, but not
I don't care. I love them.
whatever. So
Anyway, on that note, join us on Monday as we recap this week's episodes of General Hospital.
not all my children.
Not All My Children. That show ended, unfortunately, but Shannon might wind up going.
Thank God they don't sell it as volumes.
I was just thinking, I'm like, is
forever.
that DVDs?
I don't think any of them are, thank God.
Darn it.
So on that note, have a good weekend.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review.
And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.